Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Good to see you again, or if this is the first time I'm seeing you, good to meet you. Today I'm at Universal Studios at one of the worst times I could be here. Come along with me and I'll explain the worst times to visit and the best times to visit Universal Studios. What do I mean by worst times and best times? I'm talking about the times of the year that's going to have the longest wait times and the largest crowds. Let's go inside, take a lap around Universal Studios and talk about it. Now we might as well start with one of the worst times to be here, which is the Christmas season is actually a bad time for large crowds and long wait times. And the Christmas season, the crowd levels usually increase around December 17th, about a week before Christmas, and they go all the way through about January 3rd. During this time frame, there will be larger crowds and longer wait times. See, look at this. Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem, a 130-minute wait. For you and me, that's over 2 hours. But the time right after Christmas, right after that January 3rd-ish mark, that's a good time to be here. I would say, based on my experience, starting mid-January through February is a good time to come here because of lower crowd levels, lower wait times, and cooler weather. I'm here so much in the sun and the heat. I really like the parks in February. And that leads us into another busy time of the year, which is going to be the spring break season. The spring break season is not as bad as the Christmas season because the Christmas season is so condensed. Spring break is a little more spread out as different school districts and different states have different times off for spring break. But usually you start that spring break season and it doesn't end until probably a week after Easter because a lot of schools, especially private schools, have Easter break instead of spring break. And because of kids being off of school, parents tend to take vacations around that time. So it is a busier time of the year, but like I said, not as busy as that Christmas season. So if you're planning, what you might want to do is see when that Easter holiday is. So right around there, that's when you're going to know. A week before, maybe a week after that, it's going to be the most busy time for spring break. Now also, during that time of year, you're going to deal with Mardi Gras crowds. So the crowd level increases for Mardi Gras as well. But Mardi Gras is so fun, you kind of want to be here during Mardi Gras. And then after spring break and Mardi Gras end, we kind of enter another lull, which is in May, because that's like right before school lets out. So the schools aren't going to have a lot of holidays or days off during that time. So May is another good month to visit. And that leads us into summer, which for sure is a busy time at any theme park. And that includes Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. Of course, all the kiddos are off for summer break, no schools going on. But even with it being a busy time, it's not the worst time to come here, like say compared to the Christmas break, because summer break is so spread out that it's not as condensed as Christmas. We only have that 2-week window. For summer, you have 3.5 months of a window where people take their vacations. So the crowd levels are going to increase, the wait times are going to increase, but it can be mitigated a bit if you arrive early in the mornings. If you arrive as soon as the park opens, that can mitigate your summer crowds and your summer wait times. And that is my #1 tip any time of the year. If you can get into the park as soon as you can, if you have access to early park admission, get in there for early park admission. If you don't, get there as soon as the turnstiles open for the general public. I mean, you can get so much done within that first 2 hours of the park opening. It is crazy. You gotta do that. You gotta get here early, guys. And now let's head into Diagon Alley, always the most crowded section of Universal Studios. There's one ride in here, Escape from Gringotts. It's currently at a 120-minute wait, so 2 hours to ride Escape from Gringotts. There's also 2 shows in here. You have Celestina Warbeck and the Banshees, and then you have the Tale of the Three Brothers. In addition to that, you have all the shops and then all the butterbeer you can drink. This is one of the areas you get with your early park admission. Now you get early park admission if you have an annual pass or if you stay at any Universal hotel. And since I am in Diagon Alley and it is New Year's Eve day, I had to pick up some liquid luck. This is a tradition of Nikki and I. We always have a little bit of liquid luck on New Year's Eve, hoping for a whole year of luck. Most of the rides at Universal Studios, they do have a single rider line, but they can get backed up during the busy times. Then also express passes. Almost every ride has an express pass line, but during the busy seasons, the busy times of the year, even those can get backed up to a little longer wait than what you would expect with an express pass. So that leads us to another good time of year to visit, and that would be after Labor Day. After Labor Day, all the American kids should be back in school. They should be. So that starts a quiet time. So I would say the second week of September through about mid-October is one of the best times to come to any theme park in Orlando. But there is something that happens in October. Around mid-October, northern schools start having what they call a fall break. We don't have that in Florida, but some of the northern schools, they will have a fall break that increases the crowd levels and the wait times here at Universal. But once again, if you're a family and you have kids, that's one of the times you get off that you get to come here. So it's kind of a give and take. But for the rest of us, if you don't have kids, maybe you want to come during a time when school's in session and not October when they have a fall break. But don't take my word for it. Let's ask the doc. Doc.
What?
I consider you an authority on time.
Well, okay. Thank you.
What time of year do you think is best to visit Universal Studios?
Well, what are you talking about here?
Crowd levels and wait times. We want to avoid those.
January.
So say we're in the summertime, we should hop in the DeLorean, the time machine, and travel to January.
Well, I would say, talk to me and
we
get my train.
We can't just take the keys, can we?
No, it's biometric. Never. Yeah, the train is probably because I can also fit more people.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah.
You're the man, Doc.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, there you go. You heard it from the doc himself. He agrees with me. I also said January. If you recall, I said January and February, but the doc, he's more of an authority on time than I am. Not quite at the end yet, guys. You're almost there, though. I want to remind you, click that subscribe button and that bell notification button so you'll know when another video is ready for you to view. Now, where were we before we started talking to Doc Brown? We were talking about October. Now, there is a caveat to October. If you're a fan of Halloween Horror Nights, you don't want to avoid October. You might want to come in October because that's when they have Halloween Horror Nights. But there is a little tip for that. Halloween Horror Nights usually starts in mid-September. So the slowest time of the year for Halloween Horror Nights would be the second half of September. And that brings us to November. Regarding November, November is a mixture. The first half of November is actually a very good time to visit Universal. Now it gets busy, of course, the week of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's on a Thursday, so starting the weekend before that Thursday and continuing through the weekend after Thanksgiving, that is one of the busiest times here. Not a good time to come here if you're looking for low crowds and short wait times. Since today is the 31st, New Year's Eve, I just talked to a family from Boston. Their strategy for Hagrid's is to try to get on Hagrid's January 1st, thinking a lot of people are going to be up really late tonight and not want to get up early in the morning. So that could work. That sounds like a good strategy. I didn't think of that, but good luck to that family from Boston. Attempt to get on Hagrid's January 1st. That's a good way to start the new year. Start your new year off right. A smile and away from Maryland, I had a good day. And how about that, guys? We took a trip around the park and a trip around the calendar. And as always, don't miss the magic, don't miss the fun. Thanks for watching RixFlix, and now it's time to relax.